Hello guys, welcome to another video in our Barbie Legacy Challenge. Today I am gonna be decorating a townhouse for our second gen using a shell from the gallery and then just redecorating it in the Barbie style, so basically pink and pastel. I chose a townhouse because we are staying in the city in San Myshuno, and I just thought a townhouse is kind of fitting in with the city but also gives us the space that we would need once they start expanding their family. So because I'm not much of a builder and I am trying to improve on that, believe it or not, I just picked the shell from the gallery as I showed, and obviously we give credit to the person who created the shell. It is quite beautifully done. I will definitely give you props. I would not have been able to come up with this in my dizziest daydreams. So thank you very much for letting us use your shell for this challenge, and then I'm just redecorating it as I said. So this is not exactly a build video, it's more like a decorating video because the lovely shell was already built for us by the wonderful creator. Just again, props for the people who load their things on the gallery. You guys are very, very talented. I had to scroll through quite a lot because I just wanted to choose everything. There were quite a lot of beautiful choices. We settled on this one. I thought it just kind of fit in with the city that I'm building in San Myshuno. So this is the one lot in the city I believe that you can actually build on. I found it by watching another video of someone building on this lot, and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even know this existed. So we are, well, I don't know if I say we, I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean I'm just redecorating. So I used a mixture of pinks and whites, and I also tried different textures with regards to maybe a brick or a siding, and then just normal like concrete paint type of things just to add a little bit of texture. It is a little bit difficult to see in the lighting the different textures because it is quite bright. So seeing the brick white is a bit difficult. I think I switch it over to nighttime later in the video just to have a better view of the colors and the textures. So yeah, I just added a little bit of pink on the outside. So the inside is a lot more pink, but because this is the outside of a house, I figured let's make it you know, still kind of fit in with the city vibe, but also give it a little bit of Barbie. So I did add that hint of pink on the outside, but don't worry about it. The inside is going to be full on Barbie pink everywhere. So for the accents to the house, meaning windows and things, I didn't really change the style of things that the creator used. I simply changed the swatch into a more white swatch just to kind of fit in with the vibe I was going for. And then the white around the house I changed into a brick just to add some sort of texture to the house. You can't really see it well in the lighting because it is quite bright, but I'm hoping that as we play through with this gen, that during the different lightings we'll actually be able to see a bit more of the texture of the house. So luckily for me, the creator of this beautiful shell already kind of had a layout planned because I am terrible with floor plans, so this really helped me out. I didn't really change the floor plan much. I changed some walls here and there, but mainly stuck to the floor plan that the original creator chose. I changed the floors to this lighter wood just because it fits in a bit better with the aesthetic that we're going for, which is more of like a pastel pink and white situation. Usually choosing flooring and wallpaper and things are things that I struggle with, but I did try my very best to cut out most of the decision making because it is quite tedious. Here I just changed this wall in the kitchen. I just moved it back one because for the kitchen I wanted it to be a bit more open than normal archway, so I wanted to use columns and spandrel for the kitchen because I just wanted the kitchen to be a bit more open than the archways could provide. So that's what I did with that. But other than that, there aren't really any major layout changes. I did change the archways to be a bit bigger and higher so that they go a bit closer to the ceiling, just because I feel like that still separates the rooms, but it also gives it a bit more of an open feel. And here again, we're just trying to pick colors, flooring, tiling, things like that. My main focus at first was just to get the basic layout of where I wanted everything to go, and then just go and mainly sort it out later once I figured out where everything was gonna go. So what you see now might not be the final choices. I do show the final product at the end of the video. I just wanted to kind of show the process of figuring out where I wanted things to go, what colors I wanted it to be. I thought that I'd leave in a few of those things since I'm not an expert. How I try to figure things out. If you're someone who also struggles, just know you're not alone. We all struggle. Well, I struggle with these types of things, figuring out where I wanted to go with things. Here, the tiling, I was kind of struggling because I wanted it to be a pure white tile, which goes well with the pink. And it's kind of hard to find because most of the white tile looks gray in the lighting of a house, which was a bit annoying, but I think I kind of got close to where I wanted it to be. Then again, with the kitchen, I was just again trying to find out figure out where I wanted my counters and things to go, and I ended up switching up the color a bit again. But yeah, this is again just me figuring out where things are going to go. It's not necessarily the final layout or the final look that I was gonna go for. Yeah, so usually the kitchen is quite difficult for me. I don't know, some people just do it and it's fine and perfect. I don't know, probably with practice and time, I guess it makes it a bit easier, but for me it's still a bit of a challenge. I did use some custom content in this house. If you guys want me to upload it to the gallery fully decorated, I will, but again, there is some custom content that not everyone has, so that's why I usually don't upload anything. One, because I'm not a builder, and two, because the custom content obviously not everyone has access to. So yeah, if you guys do want me to, let me know. But that is kind of I think this is close to the final layout that I went for the kitchen. Now it's just basically about choosing accessories, decorations, all of the appliances and where I wanted them to go, and kind of what the layout was going to be like. I don't like having the stove and the fridge too close together, and I think I went for a dishwasher instead of a sink because I couldn't find a place for the sink that I kind of liked. So placement wise on the counters, for a sink, I just couldn't really find a spot where I was happy, so we just went with the dishwasher. It is a custom content dishwasher, so I don't even know if it works, but it does look quite nice. And of course the coffee maker, because they are very busy business people. Well, Barbie is. So we have to have a coffee maker, of course. And yeah, this is close to the final layout for the kitchen. Of course, we have some bar stools at I think this is called a peninsula, not an island, because it's attached to the other counters. But yeah, so we're adding some bar stools so they can have like a little spot, maybe just eat breakfast. And this room I decided to make into a dining room. It kind of just makes sense. It's just off the kitchen. If they wanted to like host parties, or you know, Barbie is in the business world, she wants to have like clients over or colleagues, you know, for a little networking session, who knows. So I decided to turn this into a dining room. I usually don't have dining rooms, I think, in most of my builds, because they usually just eat wherever, they sit on the couch or whatever. But I decided a formal dining room in this space for this gen kind of made sense, so that is what I did. And then on one of the walls I have this custom content type of thing that you choose the different ones, and it's like a little mural. I just thought it kind of fit in to have like a accent wall, because I struggle with finding paintings and wall decorations to fit spaces. So I thought if we have one accent wall, then if there aren't really that many paintings or wall decorations, it would go unnoticed because there's already a little something that draws the eye. And then it was time to figure out the living room, which was a struggle because I did not know how I wanted the layout to be. I didn't know what type of couches I wanted to use. This was actually a very long process. I cut out most of it because it was basically just me scrolling through different couches, finding different layouts, and then finally settling on one. Again, I'm not doing the full decorating process right now. It is just finding out what is going to go where. And since I didn't really like the idea of having a full sofa against the window, I just went with 2 armchairs. But again, this is just me finding the place to put everything, and then we will do the majority of the decorations. But later on, also bathrooms, I didn't really put too much of how I made the bathrooms in the video because I feel like most bathrooms are pretty much the same, unless you're like very creative and make these fancy things that I see a lot of. But yeah, it's basically it's a bathroom. There's a shower, there's a toilet, there's a sink, and again, there is custom content in this, so that is why you might not recognize some of the items. But yes, this is just the downstairs bathroom, which is why there's only a shower and a toilet and a sink, because I think that's mainly for guests. It's not really going to be used by the household because there are 2 bathrooms upstairs, an ensuite for the main bedroom, and then another separate bathroom for the kids. Here I was trying to find a piano because the guy that she is shacking up with is in that career. So because we can't really fit anything for him in the apartment right now, I figured it would be nice to give him his own type of thing where he can practice his things for his career. And then initially I was going to turn this room into the office space because she obviously needs her office space because she's in the business career, and I was just trying to figure out the layout. I eventually move her office upstairs and make that into the music room. I moved the piano in there so that he can kind of have a separate space because it didn't make sense for me to have the piano in the living room where the TV is going to be blaring, so that does change eventually. But yeah, here we are upstairs where we're gonna have our main bedroom and then a kid's bedroom and a little nursery for one day when that does happen, because obviously we need our 3rd gen. And again, this is me just figuring out the placement. This is not going to be the final decoration of the rooms. So yes, I was just figuring out placements, where I wanted the bed to go, where I wanted everything to go, making sure that everything will fit into the room. And where I didn't want to put the bed up against the window because I feel like the natural light and looking out the window is quite nice. So I moved the bed into more of the middle of the room. Here is the room that I'm going to be using kind of as the nursery basically the nursery. I feel like for the infant and toddler stage, and this is going to be the kids' room once they grow up. And then if we do have more than one child, we can change the nursery again into another kids' bedroom if necessary. This bathroom is quite large. I wanted to use it because obviously when you have toddlers and infants, you need a bath to actually be able to clean them. So I kept it quite big because I just felt like, we had the space and we needed to put everything in. I was trying to be a bit fancy, but I'm still trying to kind of figure out everything. I do think I changed it up a bit at the end. So here is just the final look at the house. This is after everything, after I decorated just the outdoor space. I put some seating area, cooking station, put some string lights. I thought that looked kind of cute. Little barbecue, like a fire pit there. I got the bike for the kids, then a swing set, as you can see in the corner there, just to let them play outside a bit even if they live in the city, and then some planter boxes because we know that's kind of Barbie the second's side hustle, so I just wanted to include that. I didn't do too much in the backyard. I did put this little selling table area kind of on the edge of the lot because she does want to kind of sell her things as kind of her jump into entrepreneurial situations. So here is the entryway. I'm very sorry, I'm not really good at filming these things with regards to angles and things, so I'm just trying my best to show you what I did. Just the entryway, little welcome mat, little entry table, not too much, not too cluttered, with like some wall decorations, some plants, just to, you know, give it a little bit of life when you walk in. I obviously put the burglar alarm and the thermostat because those are very necessary. And again, I do apologize for my lack of being able to film these types of things. But yes, there are just a few paintings on the walls to make sure that it's not completely empty. But that is our entryway, and then we head into the living room. Again, apologies for my lack of skills with regards to camera angles. I put in a little cat tower because I do want them to adopt a cat. They are too busy to have a dog like they did with Barbie the first, but I figured a cat is kind of going to be a nice addition to just have a pet. So yes, we have a very basic layout for the living room, some pink on the walls and mostly white, and then we have the couches and the armchairs. I moved to the other side. As you can see, the cat bed is in there. I kind of really am proud of how the living room turned out because I was struggling with it for so long. So I actually really quite like the look of it. I didn't want to put too many clutter items because I just feel like they are like very busy. They're not gonna have a lot of time to clean up, so they're really not gonna want a lot of things lying around. And then here we are just going into the kitchen. As you can see, it's a bit more cluttered up at this point. The layout is pretty much the same as what I showed you, just added some clutter on the shelves, added the bin, everything, a plant in the corner. Again, it's not minimalist, but it's not like completely cluttered either. I feel like it's just like the normal amount of things that you need for your kitchen. And here's just kind of a overall look of the downstairs area. As you can see, I moved the piano into that little room over there. I added a few more instruments, and the dining room pretty much stayed the same. I just added some curtains in the on the windows just to kind of be able to close that up. And then it was time to move upstairs with the decorations. So here is just a final look at how I decided to decorate the things. Her little office space over here. It's not too busy. There are a few knickknacks here and there, but of course she wouldn't have too much things lying around. Her desk is a little cluttered up. She has her bookcases, some artwork, calendar. I put the mirror in there because she does have to work on her charisma skills, and of course the gorgeous window to just look outside and catch some fresh air every now and again. And this is the kids' bedroom for when they are all grown up into kiddos. We'll probably change it up once they're teens. I didn't add a computer or anything because they're still kids. I added the little cat thing over there just because they're gonna have a cat. I thought, you know. And I actually really quite like this wallpaper. It is just Barbie-esque enough without being overbearingly pink. So I did quite like that. And here is the main bedroom. Again, not too cluttered, just enough to get by. They have their closet. I put a little suitcase on top of the closet because they did just move in. I thought that was kind of just a cute little touch. And they have their own ensuite bathroom as well, which turned out, you know, pretty nice. It's not like a lot. It's not minimalist, but it's not overly cluttered. And then here is the little nursery. Again, this is mostly custom content. Yeah, I just changed up the artwork a little bit. But yes, this is going to be the nursery for the newborn and the infant. The newborn is probably gonna be more so in their room, so this is gonna probably be for the infant and the toddler, because yeah, I did put a toddler bed in there. And I did put the changing station, which I know because I played the 100 baby challenge, I don't use that quite a lot, but I feel like for this I want it to be a bit more realistic. So I added in a changing table, crib, all of the things, and even the cute little chair. You know, maybe she can just sit and read for the child and everything. And then that is, yeah, that's how that turned out. And then just a final look at the bathroom. I changed it up a little bit. As you can see, we have our tub, we have our shower, we have our little potty for the potty training. And it's just basic you know, counters, sink, all of the things. And yeah, here's just again a basic look of how everything turned out. I want to thank the creator of the shell. It is beautiful and it worked out quite well for everything I needed to do. Quite proud of how the decorations and the house turned out. Let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comments. And I want to thank you so much for joining me for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.